What's up, guys and gals? Welcome back to the Nerd Castle. Today in the world of indie games, we're going to be taking a look at a title called Cataclismo. This has turned out to be one of the big hits of the summer with like 300,000 wish lists, and it's effectively They Are Billions with a Lego-style building system against endless hordes of flesh beasts that are trying to destroy you. So today we're going to take a look at the game. You can find a link down below in early access. On top of that, you can find links to my Discord and my Twitch stream, just in case you wanted to hang out live, but let's go ahead and hit this thing. So this is what your base is going to look like at the beginning of the game. We start out with nothing but a citadel and a couple of units that we can run around the map to kind of sweep and clear for bad guys. When you're playing on the endless mode, so I played around with the campaign during previous demos, and the campaign is pretty well done, but I tend to be attracted towards the endless modes, or the sandbox modes. You are going to have a completely procedural map in front of you that you're going to have to figure out how to secure. Otherwise, the horrors are going to get in, and it's going to be really bad for you. So here at the beginning of the game, what we need to do is we need to sweep, and we need to take a look at potential locations where we can put in lumber mills so that we can get our resources up and running, because just like every other Stronghold-style game, we are going to have to use wood and stone and metal and all that kind of stuff to get our industries up to snuff. For right now, it looks like we've got two little stone piles over here that aren't too bad, but I'm liking this topography. I don't think the game has like a mini map that ever pops up, or at least it never did for me. During the hour or two that I was playing this game prior to the recording of this video, are we going to be able to pinch this off right here? I think we should be able to, but there's a little gap right there that makes me a tiny bit nervous. All right, let's get some starting buildings going. We've also got population over here. You've got oxygen consumption, which is a new addition in these little post-apocalyptic games. I don't know exactly what the storyline is because, once again, played the demo of the prologue of the campaign probably about a year ago, and I've only been playing endless mode for the preparation of this video because I feel like with games like this and Age of Darkness and They Are Billions and diplomacy is not an option, the endless mode I think is where the vast majority of people are going to spend the biggest part of their time. This looks like a nice little choke right here. It looks like we're actually kind of on like an isthmus or something that we've got going on right now, which is going to work out really, really well for us. Let's get our basic industries up and functioning. We're going to need sawmills. So it looks like this sawmill right here is not going to fit because there's a ground gap right there. That's a little bit of a headache. Can't really do much about the ground gap either. This game does have a Lego-esque aspect to it where you can put in blocks to level out ground, so I'm going to try that first. Just to see if I can solve my problem, because I think the ideal spot is going to be like in this little nook over here. So let's get our lumber mill in. It's going to need some more support. Okay. That's fine. We just need like one more row of blocks. That's perfectly okay. Let's put in our one more row of blocks there just to even out our little workspace. And there it is. And so there's a definite problem-solving aspect to this game that I think is going to reach out and bite people that are big fans of things like Legos, big fans of things like Minecraft, where you sort of have to like engineer solutions to your problems a lot of the time. This game definitely has that in absolute spades. But if you've played a game like this before, you've played this one. Effectively, we function on a day and a night cycle. During the daytime, nothing happens and you just collect materials. During the nighttime, you get attacked and all of your resource production is put on hold. You've got to hold off a big, nasty wave of bad guys that are going to slide on through trying to hurt you. Let's rotate that guy out right there. Did they have a way to get down? Is there like a slope right here that they can walk on? One cool feature that you'll see when this building gets done is that they put down cobblestone roads going back to the capital wherever the workers are going to be walking, and I very much like that detail. Get that in right there. There we go. You can see that road work in action. We don't actively know what direction we're going to get attacked from this time around, so I'm sort of like holding off on going crazy with my industry for right now. We've got a 7 right there. We've got a 9 right there, but the metal ticks are not very good. This is not the world's greatest resource pile, unfortunately. I was hoping we could find somewhere around here that we could get our metal ticks up to more than 1 per minute, but I don't think it's going to work out like that. Let's go ahead and secure our stone supply, and we'll just try to get by off of minerals that we find out on the game map. Now that we've got our basic economy all nice and seen to, we've got a little bit of everything coming on through. You can hear the game prompting me right now. We've got oxygen problems, so we're only getting 75 per minute. What I like to do in the early game is I just use this tower right here, because in this game, the higher your oxygen production is, the more oxygen it produces, which means you're going to be building some sprawling, like, wizard tower type deals in order to get yourself safe. And the second I find out where the enemy's coming from, whether it be the left or the right, the south or the north in this case, I'll decide to build some defenses, or at least some scaffolds that my little guys can get up on top of and beef with the enemy. So it looks like we're getting attacked from this side. I think that's going to work out copacetically. I would like to strangle this area and make it part of my territory, but I don't know if I can build out that far away from base for right now. A word of advice to you, I highly recommend building stone as the front layer for any scaffold that you decide to put your guys on top of. Otherwise, bad things can sort of happen. Let's go ahead and just put down a basic defensive barricade over here. This is not going to be anything super complex. It's just going to be a stop block for the enemy to kind of keep them back. And we got to swap between wood and stone here. We'll put wood in the background just to cut down on costs a little bit. There we go. And I think that should probably do for our first day here. Let's put that right there, and then we need some stairs so that they can access these other areas depending on where the enemy decides to strike. And so we've got that all nice and set up. Let's put these guys on the wall, and we'll wait for this first wave. This first wave is not going to be horrifying by any respect. It's going to be pretty simple to handle. Maybe I'll retrofit this into a network of rope bridges or something later on. That'll have oxygen collectors on top of them. But just like in Diplomacy is not an option, or They Are Billions, we're also going to have to put down these beacons to increase our buildable area, like the spaces that we can actually function inside of. And we're going to need a couple over here, I think. We're not going to be able to really find our way around that. Let's put one right there. And if I can keep these lined up, we'll put one like right there, and I think that should get us where we want to go so that we can block off that entire area and use the water as a natural barricade. These are going to take a minute. They also, I think, cost oxygen, if I remember correctly. Let me take a look real fast. They do burn 5 oxygen per minute, so we're going to need to get on top of that and fix it before too long, but life should be okay. All right, the horrors are on their way in. And it looks like they can indeed cross water. So I was thinking about being a corny bastard over here and just blocking that off, but we're going to have to get a little bit more creative with it, which is perfectly fine by me. It shouldn't be that big of a deal. First wave is done. As you can see, the game does not have the particularly vicious learning curve that you're going to find in a game like Diplomacy is Not an Option, or in something like They Are Billions. This game, I've made it out to like wave 5 or 6, and while it does escalate, it doesn't escalate at a ridiculous level in the respect that it does in other games like this. What we need to get on top of now is we need to build some housing. And what's interesting about this game is that all the stuff you build, you can also build on top of it if there's free spaces. And so you can get some interesting little combos of buildings moving together to kind of look like suburban or urban sprawl if you play around with it a little bit. Let's see what we got going on over here. We don't really have a whole lot of wood, and I don't see a lot of stockpiles around either. Once we've got our civilian numbers up, I'm going to build our first military building, which is going to allow me to make a lot more bowmen, which should allow me to press out and scout a little bit more aggressively. But for right now, we just kind of need to look around and see if we can find any packages around that'll fill up any of our meters. There are little supply packages that you'll find on the map that will give you like 300 wood or 300 stone. There's one right there, specifically for oxygen, and it doesn't look like it's guarded. Okay, it's guarded. I was lying. Never mind. The enemy has a brood nest over here. In fact, double brood nests on that side. There are a number of different types of enemies. They do different stuff. Some of them explode. You know, they have various special infected type things that they do. And so you'll have to learn those as you go along. I do think it's a good idea. So we've got 19 over here. Let's get our first barracks. We're sitting at plus 185 right now for a little bit. What I like to do is I like to connect these over here so that they look like they're attached with those two little struts that are going over to this side. Like that right there. I think that looks good. So let's put that right there for the moment. And yes, you can build stuff on top of this tower, by the way. If you want to build stuff on top of the tower, you can absolutely build stuff on top of the tower if that's the kind of thing that gets your Jimmy moving. And in fact, I'll probably just get this prepped for that so that I can use this for something a little bit later. We are going to need better supports over here, so it might be worth it to go all in on stone right there. Yeah, let's go in on a little bit of stony right here. There we go. And then I'm going to attach these with a rope bridge right here so that there's still an even walkway through there. And then we're going to put oxygen harvesters on top of this thing, I think.
Low oxygen production.
Oxygen production is indeed looking a little bit rough. The game is not wrong about that. Really what you need to do is you need to make sure you're not optimizing to make like ridiculously huge stairways everywhere that you go, because those are kind of like resource intensive and labor intensive. Let's put those in right there. And then I need some of the shorty boys right there. Yeah, that'll work. And then we'll go up like that. And then we'll get a couple of these guys right here. And there you go. We've got our first little stairwell that we're playing around with. Like I said, this is kind of like They Are Billions if They Are Billions was like specifically created for people that really like playing around with Legos. And you can make some pretty cool stuff. Like eventually we can get rid of all these scaffoldings and these won't need to be here, and we'll get it all taken care of. But for right now, it's sort of like an order. We're trying to do things functionally right now. I need a little bit more wood, so hopefully the workers drop that off pretty soon. I would like to snipe some wood from around here somewhere. Sometimes you'll find unprotected care packages around the area, because we're probably going to want to have like 3 or 4 archers tonight just to make things go a little bit smoother and keep the enemy up outside of our domicile. Let's start clearing out some of these mobs down here too. This might have been a mistake. That guy right there might actually be a legitimate problem. He's one of the exploders I was talking about. So he's going to blow up over here. Let him blow up. Everything in this game is magnificently well animated. I think what you'll find is the production values in this game are considerably over the top of the head of just about everything else in a similar genre. And I think that's why this game is probably going to succeed, is just because... As an example, so you've got They Are Billions. They Are Billions, really good game, terrible, god-awful campaign. That's the big weakness right there, is that their campaign just sucks all the booty hole in the universe. Age of Darkness has never been able to get rid of the weird slidiness that all of their units have that make it feel really odd in combat where everything's pushing it around. That's what I mean when I talk about production values, that this game is a very, very well-made RTS. From what I've seen so far, and it doesn't suffer from the ridiculous learning curve or like that one major flaw that tends to drag down all the other titles in this sort of genre. Let's put this guy up here for another 180 to our oxygen, and then we'll probably get another one over here once we get suspension bridges. You do get points after every single night that you can use to buy new technologies and new units, just in case that's something that you're interested in. Bowmen are 60. Give me 2 more bowmen over here. 2 more bowmen will be fine, just fine. Once we get up to about 10 bowmen, we can attack this place and effectively use it as like a supply depot for whenever we need anything around here in order to make our lives easier. But for the moment, we're operating on a little bit of a shoestring budget. And here come the horrors. They are on their way in, and there are a few more of them. Did that one sneak outside of our zone of control? All right, he's going for our pylon over there. These 3 will hold right here. I need to extend this wall down and get this done. We'll probably wall it off right at the water tomorrow, just to make sure we stay nice and safe. If the enemy damages a block, it does collapse. Your little guys fall to the ground and they get stunned for a while. What I need now is I need rope bridges, please. Let's get some rope bridges, because I've got plans for this little setup over here. We're going to get rid of this right here, and we're basically going to have these little sky towers all over the place that'll be providing us with oxygen, because oxygen is the main thing that I've been wrestling with over the course of the game. So that right there, it goes out to roughly, it's kind of hard to eyeball. Sometimes I wish you could leave a ghost right there so that you could measure it out more effectively, but I think I've visually got it. We're going to need it to be stone bricks, and this is 2 stacks of stone bricks right there. Yep, there's our bridge. We got it. Ladies and gentlemen, we got them. So there's our little stone bridge, and then I need to have another little stone paddock. Oh, that's not what I wanted. I'm going to need another little stone paddock over here for another oxygen harvester, just to keep things nice and clean. There we go. Looking good. If you want to delete stuff, you just click on it and double tap delete, or you can click the button twice. It's up to you on how you want to do it. But I'm trying to get a little bit ahead on our oxygen supplying. There we go. So we've got that guy set up. We're going to have to wait for some wood to come on in. Let's go ahead and push these guys out to the bank over here. And I'm going to try to get a wall up on this side by the end of tonight. Probably running along the mist right here, maybe. They can traverse the mist, but we can't, so I need to look for potential ramps. So it looks like they can scramble up over there. Okay. Fair enough. This is going to be a big project. But let's get her moving before we do anything else. So we can fit 2 little blocks down in there. It's going to be a little bit ziggy-zaggy, but it's going to have to function. There's our first functional wall right there along the side that we're being attacked. We're going to have to patch this up a little bit. And we are going to run out of stone while trying to do it. But that should buy us a little bit of safety. I think they can still scrabble up maybe right there. Let's see what the pathing does. Yeah, they're still going to be able to scrabble up right there. So we're going to need to put a little hook right there to stop it from happening. But what this does do is it does secure us access to this pile of resources right here, which is going to be really important for us. We need to have these resources on this side. I may even build this up a little bit higher because I think this is going to be like the money wall that the enemy attacks most frequently. The good news is we got a little bit of resources back from killing off this back wall right here, which should help us out ever so slightly. So I should be able to finish the wall construction over here without too many headaches. Good news is that it's not going to be too hard to get on this wall. I only need to add like that right there, and then we should be good, and it should hold for the night so I can dedicate my resources to other stuff, namely houses, because we are out of workers right now. So let's get the housing situation all sorted out. I hit the wrong key. I always do that. I always hold down shift, dude. You spend 30 years playing games like this where shift is how you stamp out more buildings of a similar type, and then what you will find is that muscle memory gets you into all kinds of trouble. Oh, we've got a trickler over here, dude. We've got a little trickler over here messing with us. He knocked a hole in my wall right around the time I didn't want him to knock a hole in my wall. Alright, well, go shoot him real fast. There you go. He has now been shotted. Unfortunately, we're just down those resources, so that's kind of like weenus, but I suppose I'll figure it out. There we go. We all good here? Everybody get back up on the walls. Oh, I forgot to put in the bottom layer of stairs. That's what it is. I was like, why are they not getting on the walls, dude? Game's so broken. How can they release in this state? They can't keep getting away with it. All right. Now we should be solid. Hopefully they don't knock any of this down during tomorrow. I got one more archer on his way in, so I think we should be well defended enough to make this happen. I'm also going to buy an upgrade to my archer's effectiveness before we go too much further, because I feel like it's going to be important. Upgrades in this game so far have felt meaningful. These guys used to do 12 damage, and after getting their first upgrade, they do 16 damage. So it's definitely not one of those nickel and dime, like, here's 1% damage, get out of my face type games, too. I hate it when there's worthless upgrades in video games. It becomes one of those annoyances where it's like, nah, dude, buy this research 47 times for a plus 2% bonus each time. I'm like, no, I don't want to. That sounds stupid. All right, here comes the enemy. Let's see if we can get them chewed up proper. It looks like we can fire into the mist, so that's a nice little come up. And it looks like they're one-shotting mobs, which is also really, really good. She does an AoE, so hopefully if it gets anything too close to the wall, she'll just AoE them down. I believe that tomorrow we must focus on manpower. That's what it's looking like to me anyways. That wall's about to go. Oh no, dude. They just went around. Alright, they're big smart. They're big smarter than I expected. We're gonna have to completely, like, cordon off this area. Fair enough. They had little outriders out there. Okay. I don't know if there's, like, a repair thing you can do, but it does visually identify for you what pieces are falling apart really, really well. I think we just need a 2-stack right there. We need a 2-stack right there and a 2-stack right there. And the wall is all nice and patched up.
Good.
I think let's get a few more archers. I'm not trying to go too wild and hectic with it, but we definitely need to have more guys on this wall. We also need to like double thicky boy it out by the end of the day, I think. As far as technologies go, I would like to have stone gateways and things that I can use in order to go through and be able to walk through my own doors. So I feel like that's a pretty smart idea. Let me get my second archer out here real fast, and then we'll decide what we want to do next. Oxygen's holding out. I may need to make another oxygen pylon too. And if the enemy decides to swap it up on us right now and go after a different gate, we're going to be in deep doo-doo butter. All right, let's see if this crack squad is good enough to wipe out some of this pack over here. You can control bind things. However, in early access, the game is missing a lot of the quality of life you would see from like StarCraft 2 or whatever. For example, double tapping the key that they are bound to does not automatically jump the camera to where they're located at. So just little things to keep observation of. We are getting overrun here. Let's fall back, boys. Let's fall back real quick. Okay, a little bit of damage off right there. A little bit stingy. Fight from right here. And anybody you can thin out is okay. Oh, we can shoot through forests. Oh my god. Okay, there were definitely more of them over here than I initially expected. This might be a little bit of a job. These are spawners over here, by the way, so we need to get after those too. Ooh, that one ruptured? Okay. That one ruptured and turned into like a million little ones. Gotcha.
We will prevail.
I don't want to get too far in over my head before the next wave.
We're under attack.
I know. I'm working on it. 1 second. All right, who's attacking us? Oh, we had a trickler over here that's working on the walls. Yeah, look at you being over here messing with my Lego fun set. Look at you taking the initiative. All right, well, apparently that's a sign that I need to leave a guy on the wall. Okay, give me a few more soldiers. I think we're going to need to have a few more heavy hitters before this is all going to work out and I can fight my way out of my own base. Let me get... Oop, that was not where I wanted you. Put you right there. A stone half arch. Yeah, that would be kind of sick, wouldn't it? We've also got stone stairs we can play around with now. I need you to go away. You're in the wrong spot. There we go. Put those back where they go. Put that thing back where you got it. All right, let's run back over this way. And I know we're about to get pushed up on, but I kind of want to keep some kind of progress going on these spawners. Like, I don't know to what extent they're going to respawn from over here, but we've got two spawners stacked up on top of each other. So this is kind of where things are going to get interesting, and we've got to figure out whether or not we can bring this camp to heal.
Good.
Keep pushing forward. Even if we can get like one of them, that would be enormous. We got some salvage. Okay, fall back, fall back, fall back. I was trying to get a little bit of damage off on the main hub, but it doesn't look like it's going to go down like that. We are seriously stacking up bodies on this side, though. I think that AoE she fires off has saved this guy like 4 times now. Yeah, it sure seems like it, don't it? Well, I guess they're just going to have to get an opportunity to respawn. What are you going to do? Okay, so this time around, how many archers do I have over here ready to rock? Some of you guys get on that little parapet right there, like just hang out on that corner. And then do I have another one incoming too? I have another one incoming too. Nice. So that should help out for tomorrow's clearing efforts. And yeah, doesn't look perfect, does it? We could definitely use a little bit more oxygen. All right, you guys get up on the walls and get ready for some serious bang, bang, boom, boom. It's about to happen. We about to throw down. There's the first little outrunner right there. I might want to make this wall bigger, thicker, and wider. It seems like this area is getting a lot of focus, so maybe that's what I'll do. You guys are all picking the same target. Shoot a different target. Yeah, you guys spread it out a little bit. You can't all shoot at the same guy. It only takes one tap to kill him. You're wasting arrows right now. You think arrows grow on trees? I'm your local neighborhood quartermaster telling you, dude, we don't have the arrows for this. All right, let's leave these two on the wall so that they can adapt to potential problems. Actually, I'll leave one on the wall to adapt to problems. We'll put him over here, too, in case we get any tricklers. We'll add this guy to group 1, and let's see if we can knock down this camp. Like, I'm really dedicating to this camp over here, because if I can knock it down, we've got a huge amount of resources we can draw on, kind of like a piggy bank whenever we need it. And so that's where I'm trying to get to right now. Is I would love to have like a fat stack of stuff over here that I can make use of. Come on. Whittle through them. There you go. All right, get a little closer.
Good.
Okay, kill them off with AoEs. Very nice. All right, free fire. Do whatever you want.
That's right.
Oh, there's 3 spawners on top of each other over here. No wonder it was such a nightmare, dude. I didn't realize there was 3. All right, that's now down. Pick off the stragglers. Love the sound design. The arrows sound really good with the whistling and whatnot. We got stone over here. I don't want the stone. I just want the wood. And now that we have that, it's time for us to pause our game and really get in here because we found a lot of stuff that's going to make our lives a lot better. So let's double thick this wall right here because this guy is not going to hold, I don't think. Ugh, there's a ditch right there too. That's real unfortunate. Can't say that I'm in love with that. Maybe take this down a layer over here. Okay, we're looking a little bit better. We're looking a little bit more solid. Throw that right there. Throw that right there. And now we've got a little bit to play with when it comes to like HP on our wall. I'll probably throw in like a 3rd wooden scaffold over here. Just to give us a few extra standing spots for when the fighting gets extra spicy hot. And I think that'll probably do okay. We'll use this as like a pavilion that we can put guys on with a little stair over here that they can fire out of. How hard is it to build a gate? What does a gate look like? Oh, that's just a doorway. Okay, so that doesn't have a gate or anything ready to go. We're going to need more technology before that's going to work out. Doesn't look like we have doors or anything in here, but we can get a new unit called the Lobber that throws grenades. I'd be willing to go in on that. That sounds all right. We still have a decent amount of supplies left. So let's maybe make another oxygen harvester over here just to be effective about it. Maybe even 2. I didn't remember to look and see how far this space is out. It looks like it needs a 3 gap in between is what it looks like to me. So let's get the 3 gap here. 1, 2, 3. And we'll see how this plays because we definitely need to have... I'm pretty sure I can place... I might actually be able to save resources here by doing that, I think. It also depends if the bridge is going to block that right there. Ugh, I might have a problem. I do have a problem. I was correct about the problematic nature of my problem. Okay, it's going to be ugly, but I can fix this right now, like so. It's not ideal, but like... That's kind of the fun of the game, though, is kind of puzzling through some of these issues and trying to figure out exactly how you get things. Gatherers too close, huh? Ripperoonies. Alright, I reconfigured it a little bit. Now we should be solid. And I've got room for another bridge to go over to, like, another tower over here if I absolutely need to. It's really kind of coming together, ain't it? Looks like we got some serious stuff going on here. Good. I might do another one over here too. So we may want to do like a 5-rack bridge in honesty to make this work. Because it now makes sense why there's a 5-length bridge. That's what I'm learning. Is that it makes sense now. So it probably needs to be right there. Let's run the long bridge and see if it fits. Long bridge does indeed fit. Okay. Looking good. I think I'm alright with it. I'm probably being really... There's probably some super secret, like, other streamers and stuff have already had this game for a while. So I'm guessing somebody has already come up with a way better strategy than what I'm doing to get max oxygen outputs. But it is kind of fun, and it makes the city look interesting. So, like, I'm kind of cool with it. There we go. For whatever reason, these people have suspension bridges. They have, like, complex, like, archworks, but they've never figured out how to make a ladder. I don't know. Can't explain that. Life gets confusing. I've been paused this entire time. I suppose I could pick up some resources over here. We got oxygen. We got a lot of stone, which is going to be super good for us. I like the stone a lot. I'm still going to need to wall this off over here, too, so let's send our expeditionary force off to this side just to make sure there's not any, like, clawed, fanged, nasty beasties over here that I'm going to have to deal with shortly. Give me another couple lobbers, I guess.
Our military is at capacity.
Oh, we are at capacity, aren't we? Okay. Some pretty cool troops down in here, too. They've got everything from lancers to ballistas to bombers to cannons to guys that throw nets on the enemies and, like, slow them down so that they can't move and they can't get to you. Seems like there's some pretty fun stuff down here if you want to go after it. Seems like there's a pretty significant amount of things to unlock as far as the game is concerned. We need 2 points, though, to increase our military cap, which is what I want to do next for sure. Because if this is like any of the other games in the genre, we're going to have to stay on top of the enemy's troop growth by making sure that our troop growth is also happening, like, exponentially. Okay, so there's that little gap right there that they're getting through. You guys fall back to a firing position right here. Unfortunately, they can come up out of the slop right here, which makes this complicated. Like, ultimately, they can just go around if they really want to. And so I think that's going to end up being a little bit of a toil to get fixed. As far as solid anchor spots go, I don't know, actually. Because they can crawl up all the way through here, so it may be a better idea to go north-south with this wall down to the forest where it connects so that they can't get through. We're going to have to put a pretty sizable tower right here with like 9 guys on top of it to protect that corner because that's going to be the major fail point of what we've got going on. But I think we can make it work. God help us if they swap walls on us. Let's see what this last wave is going to look like. I'm also sort of curious if I can get up on top of this mountain right here, dude. That'd be sick to have one big tower on top of this mountain that can fire out because their like range and damage goes up. I think the higher they are up. And so like getting on top of this thing and then also building a tower on top of it, will it let me place up there? It's out of line of sight, but it doesn't say no. Ooh, this could be dope, dude. This could be actually the business if we can get ourselves up there. I'm kind of tempted. Okay, all right. And therein you see kind of the hook of this game, is that you're going to get all kinds of interesting topographies and whatnot to play around with the proceduralism that comes on out. So far, it's a $30 game in early access. It seems like it has a pretty solid density of content for the 2 or 3 hours that I've played, plus the time I spent playing the demo of the actual campaign itself when it was up on the Steam Next Fest. From there, I think what this game has that all the other games in the genre don't have is they have the Lego angle. People like the Lego angle. They find that enjoyable. Man, they like all came around this way, didn't they? All right, you guys get up on the walls over here.
That's right.
Yeah, just fire from where you can. I mean, I don't even know if you have line of sight. You move over there before that breaks. Okay, they got that one. Oh, no, he fell in, dude. This is the worst. You get up there. Cast at him. We need AoE power. I think we lost an archer. Our archer is still very much dead. All right, you come back. Oh, no! Our hero! He can't go anywhere. He's stuck up there, too. Oh, that right there was the reason why they couldn't hit anything. All right, fair enough. Oh, we got 2 points for that night. Nice, dude. I'm going to boost up my military power. But as I was saying, what the game's got going for it is the creative element. And I think that's a good hook. Like, it's not too much different from They Are Billions, or Diplomacy is Not an Option, or Age of Darkness. But the places where it does diverge comes in the creative problem solving of making a rough topography and a bad terrain work and build like walls across it and figure out how you're going to cordon everything off. But from there, if you like these sort of Stronghold style games but without the civic management part of it, it's just all combat all the time and all map clearing all the time, it's an interesting hook. I don't think it's going to grab everybody. I think some people will play it and be like, cool, so like it's They Are Billions, but it's even more annoying to build walls. And then there's going to be other people that are like, I love Legos. I want to play around with this all day. And I think that's what this is going to capture as far as market goes. It's a little bit expensive, but the production values do seem to line up with the expense of the game as well. It's on sale right now, I think, for like $23 instead. So, check it out. I'll see y'all later. Thanks for hanging out, and that's all I got for you. Bye, folks.